Once again, I would like to have a round of applause for both of them that they shared their time. They shared their time. Somebody, both the topics were great. Somebody exceeded the timeline. Other fellow economized on that time. So probably as a team, probably they really won.
This is what is called net zero. He produced a little bit more carbon dioxide. We absorbed it. Okay. So we are net zero.
So thank you. Any questions, please? We have got time, all the time. So if nobody else is there, I have a question to you, Mr. Mehta. At times, people talk about low voltage motors. At times, high voltage. In between, there was talk about a medium 660 volt motor. What really happens on your end? Why one technology comes in, other fades out? What was the reason why that particular? Because why I'm saying so? I was introduced to power electronics during my engineering days as an optional subject. Then, when the mechanical engineering didn't really let me earn my bread, I turned to power electronics, and more than bread, probably I earned my butter also. So what I'm saying that when variable frequency drives were introduced to the users, initially it didn't really get traction, and then when it got traction, there was a flip side. There was a flip side that it is now generating harmonics, and that as a solution, probably medium voltage motors were talked about. So can you really make sense of low voltage, medium voltage? What is more efficient option?
See, I hope I'm audible. Hello. The selection of motor low voltage or high voltage is not with the harmonics, related harmonics. It is the availability of voltage and the power density you can generate. So in general, we have accepted below up to 690, people will go for low voltage. Up to 1 megawatt or 1.2 megawatt, one goes for low voltage. Any power output for more than 1 to 1.2 megawatt, it is convenient, better to go for MV motors. It has not to do with the harmonics. Okay, harmonics are dangerous, detrimental for both the types of motors. Nowadays, drives also are better. They suppress harmonics so that it is not so dangerous for motor. And motors also are well protected by insulation. Now, for you to know and note Class C insulation, right? If you are having motors with Class C insulation class, then those motors are suitable for VFD suitability. Some companies are giving Class B, A and B also. So I can tell you any makeup motor with Class C will work satisfactorily on any makeup drives. Okay, that's what I can tell you.
Anybody else? Or topic is too new? Or professors were very good in explaining the subject? I hope the hall is convinced about the subject, so we can conclude. Yeah, there is that.
Good evening, sirs. My question to Mr. Mehta. Mehta, sir, can we switch the motor grade from IE2 to IE4 directly without changing the switch gears?
I am not supposed to name my company, but company I represent, right, gives you type 2 chart for motor feeder. So I would say out of maybe 100 motor ratings of motor feeders, in 80% feeders you don't need to change anything.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But in 15-20% you need to go for due diligence. At times you may have to go for higher rating of short circuit device. Fuse rating has to be higher, or MPCB rating has to be increased to take care of the starting current.
Because initial current will be high in case of IE4, as we go for IE4 in place of IE2. So we have to change the breakers and others.
Not always, but there are some ratings. Okay. So you just compare type 2 chart. You know type 2 chart, motor selection chart?
Yes, sir.
Just check in some areas if it is fouling, then module is same. Instead of 16 ampere, you may have to go for 25 ampere MPCB. But since you asked this question, this is a bigger challenge mechanically. So don't simply blindly replace IE2 by IE4. You may end up paying more energy. So that speed correction is required. It's a very deep topic. So it has to be mindful, thoughtful decision where how to replace IE2 by IE4 for existing installation. For
Yes.
new, you are at the liberty to go for IE4.
Okay, thank you very much.
Point. So simply replacing the motor from I2 to I4 will lead to energy saving.
I said in between. First of all, loading point. Now, whatever motors we offer, it gives you efficiency, better efficiency at 75% load than 100% load. Why? Because motors are normally running at 75 to 85% load. So it will be efficient. But I made give a caution. It's a very deep topic. I can't take this topic here. You have to check with expert like this J. Srinivasan, like people, that can you replace one on one, or you need to go for speed correction. If it's a fan or pump, then there are experts available. They convert the same fan suitable for IE2 and make it convenient for suitable for IE4. They have to trim the periphery. Okay. So don't blindly go for IE4 as regards to your existing installation. It may be counterproductive also. But solutions are there for everything.
Sir, one question on the selection of motors with is not only for IE3, IE4. What happens when we discuss for any application? They say about 200 to 250 kilowatt. It is better to go for soft starters or with VFDs. What you recommend?
Soft starters or?
VFDs, because that my application is still stable, but for the startup current or whatever thing, they say it is better to go for VFD. Some says, and someone says it's better to have soft starters. What you recommend?
VFDs are good if you want speed control. Okay. If you don't speed control, soft starter is good enough. Why soft starter has gone for a child death? Let me tell you, soft starter technology is like pager technology. It came and it went off. Reason behind the cost of drive fell so fast that soft starter के लिए कुछ जगह ही नहीं रही. There was no room for that. So people are going for DOL or star delta or jump to VFD. Soft starter for soft starter, there is no market, is now diminishing. No market.
Sir, I am Lakshmipati from TNPL, and I would like to ask one question to Shankarji. Is that there is a provision in data park software like that to enter some manually entering the data, because we are connecting DCS and MIS with the data park, and some of the data we are entering in manual and we are maintaining in computer Excel, and some data in logbooks. So is there any provision to enter other than MIS data and ERP DCS data manually we can enter and give the feedbacks to that software? Is that allowing?
Thanks for that question, because it was requiring a clarity maybe. So when we talk about the data sources, I was somewhere mentioning that it's not just about the electronic data sources. The data sources can be electronic, or it can be something sequential, which is coming from the ERP systems. And the next kind of data source is manual entry. So we have to capture that, and there is a provision. Of course, there is a provision. What's the beauty here is like, as soon as you enter this manual data into the platform, what we have it, then it will behave like an electronic data. So it will be easily being pulled into all these analytics in an electronic format. So you don't need to do it in an Excel file or something like that. So yes, there is a provision, and you can enter this lab data, whatever is manual, which is possible. And there are provisions for entering the shift logs, some cases. So all these provisions are pretty much available. Yes, thank you.
So I think all the queries are answered. One more. Okay.
This question is to Shankar. Now you are implementing some devices and the control systems to monitor the process parameters and to control the optimize or optimize the chemical consumptions. How you are able to control and optimize, and how you are going to digitally capture those data in your systems?
Okay.
How accurate it is?
Okay, so there are two parts here. One is how do we control it? So first of all, the control loops are there. I mean, the basic control loops are there since years, but it is more of a single loop controlling. why the complexity comes into a chemical controlling is when we have this multiple variables which is acting together to achieve a certain particular goal. For example, in our case, it's more or less we need to achieve a certain brightness, but there are a lot of variables in terms of chlorine dioxides and temperatures and flow rates. So all these variables needs to be modeled together, which is nothing but a mathematical model. So the modeling parameter changes, the mathematical model capturing will be changes, and which can adapt all these variables and the time delays and give you a result. To achieve certain limits of that list. That's the first part of the thing. How do we capture it that's a historian part. So maybe let me explain it in this way. So it can come from a DCS, or certain things are coming from the laboratories also. So there is a historian associated with this control system. So without that historization, it is neither, I should say, it's not possible to hold it, because we need to analyze the historical data and to see how the system was responding to that historical data, and then only the model which is mathematically been created will start reacting to that. So it's a little bit of a complex, lengthy answer, but there are two key elements, as I was mentioning. The mathematical model does the control part, and it gives the set point back to the DCS system. So in an architecture point of view, the DCS makes the final control, but who writes to the DCS system is the model, which is sitting on top of the DCS, and who perform all these algorithms based on the variables which is entering, and it writes back to the DCS like a set point. That's the control part, and the historization is separately sitting. Like besides to the DCS, separate historization is storing, and it is digitally saved. You can pull it anytime, and it can create a reporting systems also. It can create a real-time visualization also. So that's how it has been designed, sir. So hope that is somewhat okay for you.
Are we done? We say I just checked with the hall. I already concluded on my side.
Thanks for the wonderful thought-provoking presentation, sir. A special thank to Session Chairman Mr. Mahesh Gandhi. It's time for presenting mementos. I would like to invite Mr. Mahesh Gandhi to present a memento to our speaker, Mr. Sankat Das. Thank you, sirs. I would like to invite Mr. Mahesh Gandhi to present a memento to our speaker, Mr. Alpesh Mehta. Thank you, sir. I am glad to invite President of IPTA, Mr. Pawan Kaitan, to present a memento to our session chairman, Mr. Mahesh Gandhi. Welcome you, sir. I kindly request all of you join us for a group photograph.